Peace and blessings. I am Regina, and welcome to my happy place, Diva G's Reborns. We are here today, and as I mentioned, I would like to root our baby Maggie's eyelashes and her eyebrows. So in this video, we will root her eyelashes. So I have the hair, okay? The ends, as I say, I like to have them straightened. I also have my tweezers and a small eyebrow eyelash brush that I like to use. And it has some hair in it. Let's get rid of that hair. And here is our beautiful baby Maggie. We have got to get her rooted, her eyelashes and eyebrows rooted, so I can actually seal her hair. Um, because right now she has a serious case of bed hair or hat hair. And I think the way that I rooted her, um, all of her hair is kind of going around in the swirl this way. And I don't know, I'm thinking I have to see if I can get her hair to, because this side, um, it's not falling the way that I would like it to fall, like this side. And I thought that I rooted them, the same, but I don't know. As you can see, this one falls, this side falls nicely like this. Whereas this side falls a little bit differently. So, yeah. So I don't know. Um, yeah. So before I seal her, I do have to figure that out. You know, because I definitely want her hair to fall the correct way. The correct way. I mean, it should because I rooted, the same direction. But like I said, since I've not sealed her hair, I'm not really, you know, combing it and doing certain things as if it were sealed. Okay, look at her. She's a cutie pie. And the other thing that we must have, obviously, is our needle. So I will be, this happens to be a 40 gauge that I'm using, and it has multiple barbs. And let's see if I can get her, into camera. Now, as I'm rooting, I'm going to be rooting, putting the hair in here, and the hair goes in between here where the upper and the lower eyelids meet. That's where it goes, in there. Not above it, not below it. Goes right in that little space that looks pretty dark, like a shadow. Okay. And that's another reason when I am painting, I go across here with a dark, with the dark color to give it some shadow, as well as to kind of camouflage the area where well, to the area that we're inserting the lashes. We want that, we want them to go in there. So, yeah, we will go ahead right in here. And, yeah. So while I'm rooting, I'm going to be rooting, and the hair, I'm going to be pushing like this. The needle, I'm going to be pushing it going up toward her forehead. Okay. And then the lashes that are going, the lashes that go on the edge, okay, I have to root them in a way that they will fan out going toward the side of her face, and the ones in the middle to go straight, and the ones, the inner corner, to kind of go toward the nose. Okay. Now, I'm not certain if I can get good enough view for you in the camera, because I definitely have to see. I definitely have to see it because, um, you know, I need to really be able to see what it is that I'm doing so that it looks that it goes into the area where I want it to go, because I don't want to go, in areas that I don't want to, because this area here, um, you don't want to damage the vinyl and like thin it out with poking too many times in there if that's not the area that you want to be in. Um, yeah, I don't think that you're really going to be able to see what I'm doing that much. I don't think so. Okay, let's see. And here, I want to go in more of somewhat of a micro and mono. I like fairly thick eyelashes. That's just, my preference. So I'm just lining up, trying to figure out if I can get an angle where you'll be able to see. I don't think that you're gonna that I can get into an angle that you can see. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. Uh, okay, so we got one hair in. Some people, when they root eyelashes, they fold their hair in half and they go in the middle of it, and that can work as well. I don't use that method because I feel like it makes the eyelashes wiry, and then you can't really control the direction that they're going in. Now, rooting eyelashes, I do take my time because I want to be able to um, get exactly where I want to be. Okay, let's see if you can see that. Try to see if you can. Okay, once I put some more hair in, now the middle, like I said, this part of the eye, the middle of the eyelash, eye area, what I want to do is just kind of, have it going straight. And then again, like I said, the other area, I want to fan out this way and the other way. Okay. Ooh, let's see. For some reason, I feel cold. I mean, it is cold here. It's 18 degrees, but I feel cold. I actually have, believe it or not, a heating pad across my lap. That's how cold I am. And I have layers of clothing on, sweater upon sweater. Now I know you can't see what I'm doing. And even if I had a complete overhead view, I don't know that you would really be able to see either, because my hands are over the area. Okay, I think you can see there. Right. Okay. Now, and if when you're pressing, if you find that you're getting some resistance, it probably is because you're not in that exact fold area of the eye, and that's why. Because if you are in that area where the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid, quote unquote, meet, that little space in between there is rather soft. And yeah, so if you have your needle directly in there, you really shouldn't feel resistance. Now I'm thinking, now what I do when I do the eyebrows, I do map them. Well, I don't know if I want to say really map, but what I do is I make a line that I can kind of follow. And so with Maggie's expressive features, I have to really take a good look at how to apply root the lashes. Now, I'm feeling like the middle. Okay. Now I'm going, okay, this is her eye and this is her ear. I'm getting close to the edge. So what I want to do, I want to angle the needle in the direction that I want the hair to go. And I want the hair, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to face the needle and I'm going to have the needle pointing toward her nose as I'm Not a sharp angle, but you know, just in that slight, a subtle change. As with most everything in reborning, the subtleties are the things that um, make a real big difference that I believe. And yeah, nothing like too like really dramatic, but just that little subtle shift in direction. And okay, let's see if you okay. You can maybe see the hair that's in the middle is going straight, and the hair on this side is going a little bit toward her, like going toward her ear. Okay, because I angled the needle to root toward her nose. Um, I don't know how else to really explain it, but keep watching, and then you'll see um, the results. I find that trying my best to really get it to line up is so helpful in getting the hairs really in the area that I want them to be. Now, the thing is, when you are rooting the eyelashes, hair does not go completely to the end on either side. Because if you look at your eyelashes, um, you'll see that at the very end, where your eye um, kind of closes, you don't see lashes in that way. I'm trying to get pieces of straight hair. I mean, it's all straight, but some of them are crossing over one another. So, yeah. Such riveting content, right? Mm. Again, like I said, this is my personal diary that you have access to. And I'm sharing my processes that I use to reborn. I have to order some more Liquitex. I guess I could go to Michael's if I wanted to, but I don't want to go out. It's cold out. It's cold out. I don't want to go out. So I can order the Liquitex from Michael's or Amazon. and I've gotten it from both. Actually, I've gone in person to Michael's to get it, and then I go ahead and I've ordered on Amazon, you know. So both are, applicable. I just prefer in this cold weather. If I don't have to go out in it, I don't want to go out in it. The cold, really does affect my condition. So, yeah, so I prefer not to go out. Now I know some artists, they use the um, strip eyelashes for the babies, and that works as well. Some, I have even seen that they will draw them on, and that works as well. For as many artists that there are different methods that we may use to achieve a particular goal. And there is someone who appreciates your technique. Not everybody will like a particular technique, but it's like your quote unquote tribe will find you. Now, the inner corner, well, you can see absolutely nothing. The inner corner, I'm going to angle the needle going toward the ear. Not going too far toward the edge of the corner of the eye. And remember, subtleties, subtleties, subtleties. That's the thing that gives that bit of realism. I would like to encourage you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Our membership or our subscribers are growing, and I'm grateful for that. We've reached a couple of days ago the golden 300 that I was mentioning that I, would like to then do a contest, but I did not want the contest to, be at the same time that Karen from Making Reborn Dolls with Karen is doing her contest, because her contest began February the 1st, 2026. And she has a very involved contest. And it's very involved, it's very nice, and it's exciting. So, and she will be choosing the winner of the contest randomly on March the 1st. So, that being said, I didn't want to, I did not want the contest to overlap. And I was also kind of trying to figure out a prize that might be nice. And yeah, so I'm going to show you where we are. As I'm looking at it, I'm going back over some areas to make it a little fuller. I don't see anywhere that I need to pull anything out. I don't see anything like that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. And all of the, okay, this look curled up. It looks like it's on the top of the lid, but it's not. Everything is in between the space where it's supposed to be. Let me see if I can get the hair to lie down. Water. Okay. And you can see maybe the subtle shift in direction. Now, what I like to do, I like to have a little slightly more on the outer corner to give that additional wispy kind of look. Um, so yeah, I like that. Eyelashes are something that I so love. That's something that I also have in my other shop, eyelashes. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love eyelashes. So yeah, I want to just put a little bit more on outer corner. I mean, I want her, I mean, she's a baby, so I'm not trying to give her, you know, adult glam lashes, but I do, there's certain things that I like, and I think it adds to that bit of realism. I'm being very intentional where I am guiding the needle and the direction of the needle. These things will make a lot of difference when you are ready to trim the lashes and the overall outcome of the lashes. When I'm reborning, a lot of times I use makeup references because I find it relatable, you know, for me. Um, So that's why sometimes you hear me say certain things. Now, some people, when they do lashes, they like them to be very, wispy, almost like barely their lashes. And again, that's fine. It just depends on what it is that you like and the look that you want to achieve, you know. I've looked at my Alexis from Ashton Drake, who I named Ebony, and I look at her, and sometimes I think of actually reborning her, because that's actually what a reborn is. It's a factory doll that you strip the paint and then you repaint it, aka meaning reborn it, and you give it a new life. But I'm afraid to do it with her because I don't want to mess her up. I said all of that to say that I look at her sometimes and I think, oh well, I could root her hair. But now I've seen reborn artists who do like the Behringer dolls or other manufactured dolls, and they have to get the hair off. I've seen someone take like what is it, Nair hair remover and go across, and they have to sand it down and everything. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do all of that. Yeah, so I'm going in and out, but very, what I say, uh, deliberate. I'm being very deliberate. And if I need to pull any out because it's too thick or something, then that's fine. That's fine. I just want to not have any spaces. And I want to make sure as best as I can that I am placing hair where it's reasonable to have the eyelashes. Like the inner corner here, I want to make sure that I have it realistic inside. And I want to make sure that I get my needle in there properly and that I'm angling it so the hair will go the direction that I want. Now this is just one eye, and it has taken us a half hour, and we're not even finished with the one eye yet. Details are something that can take your artistry in some ways to the next level. Now, I started, rooting my dolls, their hair, the eyelashes, the eyebrows from day one. I just jumped in, as you've heard me say a number of times, with both feet. My first doll that I rooted was Sonic, and she's a sleeping baby. And then she came out very nicely, and people thought that she was real. you know. And then of course, obviously once they get, really, really on the doll, they realize that, oh, it's a doll. But when they seen her, they thought that she was real. And I think that's a compliment, you know. And then so about um I finished the Sonic, and then I immediately started rooting um excuse me, reborning Lillian, and Lillian is an open eye baby. So yeah, so my second doll was Lillian, and she is open eyes. Okay, now before I even spray it with water, I want you to see the direction that the hair is going, and you can see that subtle shift in direction, and you can see the hair is all in the eyelash, in between the fold of the upper and the lower eye. There's nothing above the eyelash line, above. It's not in the lid, it's in between that area. So when we clip the hair, it will look very realistic. So that is one eye that we have done, and it's taken 30 minutes to do the one eye. 30 minutes to do the one eye. I'm going to do the other eye um, to continue with this riveting content. Now, I usually like to start in the middle of the eye. That's just what I do, so that I can have an idea of where I'm going. See? And again, I'm piercing the skin, and if it's difficult to go in, that means that I'm probably not in the fold. Because if you get into that fold properly and you're angling the way you need to angle, it will go in. You won't feel resistance. You just have to take your time. Now, again, not everyone roots lashes, and there are very few people that root eyebrows. I like doing both. I like the look. I'm very deliberate on where I place the needles and the hair, and I like the look. But as you can see, it does take time, and some people want to know, why do reborns cost what they cost? And this is part of it. Part of it, are the supplies that we use to reborn. Yeah, that's part of it. The other part is, the time it takes to create them. And the other thing is the details, the skill at doing certain things. always want to make sure that you're getting hair, because you want to be certain that, because this area, the vinyl is thin, so you want to be sure. I know I've heard artists say that when they've tried to root eyelashes, that they damage the vinyl because I don't know, possibly they went in um, somewhere other than the eyelash, the area where the eyelashes are to go, which is what on a closed eye baby, it goes with the eyelashes, with the upper and the lower eye would meet, eyelids would meet. Um, and then it can also be the gauge of the needle, because this skin is very, this area is very thin. And so trying to get the needle in properly and not um, go in areas that you're not, in areas where you don't want hair to be. And what will happen is if you go into the area where you poke too many holes, it becomes thin, and then the hair will not catch in their area. Now, I will hope that I don't have that going, as an issue, which is one of the reasons that I really do try to take my time. And, I'm very deliberate. Um, I just take my time. I know part of this portion of rooting, you're not really able to see completely what I'm doing, but that's why I'm trying to explain it and then show you what I'm doing. Okay. And everything is in the eyelash area where the upper and the lower meets. Being very deliberate about the direction of that the needle is so that the hair can flow in that direction. And as with most things, one side will be a little bit easier for you depending on, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, or, how you're able to see what it is that you're doing. Because this is an area where you can't just kind of like feel and say, okay, well, um, I want the hair to go there, and it's gonna be okay. Because unlike rooting on the scalp, you have uh, room for, the scalp is more forgiving than the area where you place the eyelashes and the eyebrows. So it's not as forgiving. So you do have to be very deliberate. And part of that is just really taking time and just really thinking about before you pierce the vinyl, the angle that you need the hair to go in so that you can get that subtle shift in direction. And you kind of have to, of course, think about it, the direction that you want the needle to go in so that you can have the hair going in that direction. My messages. Okay, so let's continue rooting our darling baby Maggie's eyelashes. As you can see, I am taking my time and going back to the reason that reborns cost what they cost. And depending on the detail work, certain things, there's for lack of a better word, a skill level and the amount of time that it takes to do things. Now, when I get ready to root the toddler's eyes are open. So that's going to be, I'll be able to root them online. Rooting open eye babies is not, it's not that it's more difficult. It's just different because you have to use a slightly different technique with going into the area, especially the upper, the top eyelid, or the area where the lashes would go on the upper eye, the top lid. And then if you don't like rooting, you can use the eyelashes that are sold at the doll companies. Now, was, I don't like to pay shipping and handling. So, Bountiful Baby, they were having a sale, discount on something. I don't know. I'm not sure what, but in any event, I didn't want to pay the shipping and the handling. So, I needed just a little bit more to get me to that free shipping. So what I did was I ordered some of the Prismacolor pencils. I think I ordered two, and I ordered one of the lashes. Just just because I said, let me see what they have to offer. And what I found was um, they look like eyelashes that you know women actually wear. You know, so I don't know that they're actually doll lash. I don't know. I don't know if they're specifically doll lashes, but in any event, yeah. So I do have a pair. The ones that I bought it and it came with the upper and the lower. So that was what I had gotten. And yeah. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to see if the thickness is fairly symmetrical. Yeah, so that's what I was saying, because sometimes, people would say, oh my God, the dolls are so expensive or, what have you. But those are the things that you are, paying for. And, you know, Reborn, being a reborn artist, it is an expensive hobby. Being a reborn collector can also be expensive because, again, the dolls, cost what they cost. Okay. Oh, let me see if I can brush this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I mean, all of the hair is directly in the correct location. Nothing is on the lids. Let me see that. Let me push the hair back from the forehead. Everything is in the line. The let's see. Nothing is on the lid. Okay. Right. Let's see. So now I need to kind of look at her and I want to see if there's anywhere that I want to add a little bit more or take some away. Now the inner corner of her eye, I want to just put a little bit there, a little bit more there, even though the inner corner of the eye does not have a whole lot of hair, you know, but I do want to just put a little bit more in there. Okay. Let me just put a little bit here. And see, the thing is, rooting, depending on the way you root, um, the hair will fall um, in certain directions. The amount of hair that you use as well will give that look too. And you see, we've done both eyes, and this is a closed eye baby, and each eye has taken approximately 30 minutes. And we still have not, finished just yet. Yeah. You can see why there are some artists, there's some dolls that are over $1,000. And some of that is because the kit may be a sold out kit or limited edition kit. Sold out limited edition, which is when you see where they say SOLE, that's sold out limited edition. And those kits, those dolls will go oftentimes for more money. And if it's a prototype, prototypes sell for more money. And if it's a artist, reborn artist that is known and has a reputation, they may charge more as well. So let's check out the symmetry. Okay. And you can see everything is where it should be. Nothing is in the lid. Everything is where it should be. The stray little hairs that you see, some is from her hairline, but there's nothing that is out of place as far as being on the lid. So as you can see, and I've not even sprayed water. You can see, because this hair does have, obviously, as you can see, some curl to it. So some of it you see kind of curling up toward the lid, but there's nothing in the lid. See, nothing in the lid. Right? Now, what I like to do, I'm trying to figure her eyebrows out, okay? So what I will do is I will spray just a little bit of distilled water on her eyelashes. And then I'm going to brush them down. Okay. And whilst I'm brushing them down, while they are wet, I can see the direction that they're going. You can see. You see the direction that they're going. And that's the direction that I want them to go. The middle eyelashes should be pretty much going straight. As you begin to get to the inner corner, they should kind of fan out toward the nose. As you get to the outer corner, they should fan out toward the ear. And both eyes should look that way. Now I'm looking above. So I'm trying to see, I'm trying to check for the symmetry. And what will happen once I clip them, I will be able to see if I need to add any more hair. I think I want to put just a little bit more here. Okay. And remember, like I said, we can, we can take, if we feel that it's too much, we can pull out the hair. But we do want to be intentional because remember, like I said, the hair is the vinyl is thin in this area. Okay. Let's see. I want to be sure. Okay. So now what I will do is I'm going to cut her eyelashes, not completely to the length that I want, but I am going to. Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. One second, let me get my tape. And I have my trusty lint roller here as well. I'm going to just take my tape. This is just what I do. This is just something that I do. And, I find that, I find that it works for me. I find that it works for moi. Okay. And I just do this so that I can then kind of tap the hair onto the tape. That's the only. Now for the eyelashes, I like to use my nippers. So I'm not concerned per se with the length. Okay, I'm not really I just want to kind of have it a little bit more of a manageable length for me. Okay. So that I can kind of see, and then I will be doing the mapping the eyebrows. This video is quite long, but again, like I said, this is my diary to myself. So, okay, now clearly her eyelashes are not going to be this long. Now, I will go ahead and what I do is I use my fingers for some measurement, so to speak. So I'm just putting my index finger, okay, and then I'm going to cut below it. Obviously, her lashes are not going to be this long either, but I just want to do little by little. And you be mindful of using this tool because it's sharp. You don't want to nick her face, right? So now, okay. I'm going little by little. More tape, and I want to put it a little bit toward her face. Not on her face, but a little bit on. Okay, so what I have done is I have placed a little bit of tape, not on her face. You know, the sticky part is not on her face. But what I did was I placed, I don't know if you can see, tape is clear. So as I'm snipping, it's going to be caught by this. Now, I'm intentional in the direction that I'm cutting the hair. Okay. The outer, we want to cut where the outer lashes will kind of have that effect of going like this, the inner lashes like that, and then the middle part just going straight. I hope I explained that well. So in order for me to get that, to try to achieve that, I have to cut the hair in that direction. Trying to see if I show you. That's not showing. Let's see. You maybe can see. Um, and again, I like to go a little bit too long, and then I can refine it. And my nippers seem like they are a little bit dull now. These nippers came in the kit with the felting needles that I used. So I don't know, maybe I need to get another. So yeah. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm angling again the direction that I want the hair to kind of go whilst I'm cutting it. The middle can be straight. And I know I'm in like an awkward position trying to nip. Just snip the hair. Now I don't want to have her lashes too long either. So and definitely, of course, like I said, I'm taking my time to try to get the length. You know, after we spent the time rooting them and getting them the way we think that they should look, we want to be certain that when we're clipping, trimming them, that they are going to be. I have to get another nipper because these are not working out too well. They're dull. Okay, here are my hair clipping shears. And let's see. And then I have my other shears. I still have to get closer. Okay, but you can see what we're doing here. Yeah, tools are so important that you use. I'm gonna have to get some more shears. Because I don't even know that you can sharpen it, like a knife sharpener, you can just put the blade in there. Scissors, you can open it and do that. But with these, I don't know that I could do anything to make, to sharpen them. These get close, will get a little bit closer for me to her. I'm definitely going to have to order some nippers because this is making it a little bit more challenging. Because they're not as sharp. These are my other shears. I just have to want to be able to get close. Okay, let's get the eyelashes tend to be short. Although they may be full, but on a baby, they're somewhat short. Now my sons, they had long eyelashes, and even as adults, their lashes are long. Let's see. Okay. Trying to just get in here close. I will do the one eye to completion on camera, and then the other eye will do off camera because the video is quite long. However, there's nowhere to really, like to strategically stop the video and do a part 2 of it or something. There's I could have divided it in that, okay, rooting, and then that could have been one, and then part 2 could have been maybe trimming it, but sometimes I think seeing things done in real time are, very much beneficial because then you can maybe get a little bit of a understanding the concept of it. Trying to just get in here properly. Because the inner corners, the hair is going to be a little bit shorter. And since my nippers are not sharp enough to do what it is that I want them to do, I'm having to go in with these larger scissors that are fine, but I'm used to using the nippers. I thought I had all of the hair down to an even amount, but I still have some long strands. Wow. Okay. Do you find that this is a helpful video? This process that I'm showing you, that I'm sharing with you. Okay, now I have to look and see what I had on so that I can tweak it. And the thing is, you don't want to go straight across when you're cutting because that will not look, realistic. So you want to kind of honor the way in which you rooted, the direction of the inner, the outer, and the middle, right? Trying to get in here tight. And once I can get in there, I can show. See, see if I can get up. Because I have her on the pillow and it's kind of taped a little bit. So, um, okay. Now we're still not finished, but you see that was the length. Now I'm going to go in with my nippers and then you kind of go in a certain way to kind of give that bit of realism. And of course, it's real important to be deliberate and careful. because all of your hard work, you want it to remain intact, and you want that bit of realism. I enjoy every aspect of reborning. So, in the details, I enjoy quite a bit. I encourage you to please like, comment, subscribe, share our content. You know, when you comment and you like, it puts us in the algorithm where others can find us. And when you share, definitely others find us. And we're grateful for all of you that look for us on a regular basis and check us out. And, you know, subscribe. I know the content may not be for everyone, but for those that enjoy it, you're here. And as it said, your tribe will find you. Now let's see. Show you where we are with her eyelashes. How you liking that, right? Let's see. Got some stray hairs in there I can see. Attention to detail. I like full eyelashes. um if you look at my avatar, which is on my Facebook, and please do follow me on Facebook. My avatar is my baby Sonic, and she has full eyelashes as well. I like that. Now, you can definitely use the same technique that I've shared, and you can root sparsely if you want. Um, I just like full lashes. That's just my preference. I like them to be full. See. try to make sure all of the hair is off, the stray hairs. I know there are some that use clear mascara to kind of set the lashes. Um, I don't find that's a necessary step that I need to take. Yeah. Okay. So I like that. Now what I will do is I'm going to ask that you like, comment, subscribe, share, and that you come back again real soon as will be, we have a few different things that we will be doing. I will also show you my process for eyelashes. Okay, so thank you for sharing in this space with me. I so appreciate you spending your time here. Enjoy your day. Peace and blessings.